All right, what's your name?
Nina Tate.
Nina, how long have you been volunteering with All Things for the Kingdom?
Oh, probably since 2022, 23, 22. Yeah.
Long time.
Yes.
All right. And then you not only come by yourself, you actually bring this beautiful group of women.
Yes.
Tell me about your widow's group.
We are a group of ladies who lost their husbands, so we understand how it feels to have a loss.
And this is ladies as well.
Help others who have a loss too, which is those that come through the line,
That's it.
and they all have a story. And when we look in their eyes and ask them how they slept that night, they tell us their story, and it's very meaningful to know that we have something in common. And what happened to them could happen to me, you know.
Tell me about how this has helped your healing process.
Well, when you hear their story and you realize that this could be your story too, very easily, and you listen to them and you realize you have something in common. You remember how Christ grieved when he lost his cousin, John the Baptist, and you mimic your life, how he led his life. And one of the ways I'm trying to teach the ladies is follow Christ's steps, how he grieved, and how to step through those footprints and help your healing. And one of the greatest miracles that Christ did was when he was grieving. He wanted to get away by himself when he heard about John the Baptist. He wanted to be alone, be in solitude, and I totally understand that. But when he saw the crowd needing him, needing help, needing to be fed, hungry, his compassion for them poured over his own grief. And that was one of the greatest recorded miracles in the Bible, was the feeding of the 5,000. It was during his grief. And that teaches me, and I'm hoping it teaches them, that as we pull outside of ourselves and help somebody heal, we heal too.
Yeah, you got the size.
And the ministry for All Things for His Kingdom, or the Kingdom, has been a powerful source of our healing. Because as we go, we get up early, we show up, we feed, we leave with a blessing, and you can't outgive God. So as you give, He gives back threefold back to us, and we are healing. We are healing. Thanks.
Tell me what it means for you to be serving with your sister.
I'm sorry?
I said, tell me what it means to be serving with your sisters doing this work.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, it's God helping us, and for sure. And it's heartwarming. It's really to be out there doing God's work, and you got to open your eyes and let the Holy Spirit lead you. And that's why Ruth and I are here. Our husbands passed away quite a while ago, and we just want to help out. We finished our Bible study. 8.5 years did the chronological Bible, and then we wanted to look for something else.
Wow.
So did really happy to find these wonderful ladies, and finding out what you guys do. It's fantastic.
You can do it without you doing that stuff right here. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to help and look forward to doing something else.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Brenda Rhodes.
And Brenda, how long have you been volunteering with All Things for the Kingdom?
I would say I've been coming out with the Widows Group from Connection Point since 2022.
And do you have any stories about volunteers, like people that you talk to?
Yes, so the widows group at Connection Point started shortly after my husband Paul passed away. And I knew for me that part of my grief and healing was going to be helping others. And so when I came to the widows group, Nina was wonderful in just telling us about this opportunity to go downtown and serve. And the first time I went down, I flipped pancakes, so I wasn't really interacting a lot. And once we had done the pancakes, I took a garbage bag and walked around to where people were. And I just got to talk to one lady in particular who hadn't been homeless for very long, and she had some health issues. And her name was Mary. And so we prayed together, and she was very just happy to pray with someone. I asked her if it was okay if we prayed, and she said yes, please. And so that day was more of a fulfillment for me than it probably was for her, because the Lord just kind of really made me feel warm and made me feel like this was something that I could become part of. I've always loved to serve, but I think seeing just the women and downtown that just really need a little bit of help, and I was needing help from the Lord at that point in my life, very much so also. So I would just say that this is a way that I can give back, but it's just even more so it's giving back to me and to my soul, and I'm very appreciative for the opportunity. And we meet people and pray with people every time we're down there, and they're very kind and always thankful. So I'm thankful that you guys have this ministry and that I was able to find out about it.
Well, Brenda, I want you to know that you make a big difference. We love serving with you. We love you, sister in Christ. Just thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome. Thank you. All for the kingdom.
All right. All right, we are go. So, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Leslie Adams. I am part of the Widows Group, and we came together with All for the Kingdom, and they requested our help. I lost my husband 4 years ago, and after not being able to go to church for a couple years or even serve anywhere, do anything, church was where I stepped back into living again. And the Widows Group brought together all of us who are in the unfortunate position to have lost a spouse. And these women I never would have met otherwise, but we're all rely on each other. And when we get together, which we've done for a couple years now, serving at Roberts Park, and we serve, we meet the people, we tend to gather pantry items and toiletries and things that are needed, and then we serve together and usually go out afterwards and talk about what we've done. All for the Kingdom has been a godsend for many of us, and it's just fun, and it gets us out, and we meet so many people and learn so many things, and it's step one in helping us share our love of Jesus with everyone else.
Okay, what's your name?
Jennifer McGee.
And Jennifer, how did you start serving the
I started serving through the church and Whitestone Ministries. I knew Danielle personally, and I got started with them, and they just said, hey, we do every third Saturday, and so I went down, and the first time I went, it was amazing, so amazing. And I will say that I kind of stood behind the table and just handed out clothes or food or whatever, but then Josh asked me sometime maybe you would like to step out and talk. So I did that a couple of times. And I've had the greatest experiences when you step out. If you just ask their name and say, how can I pray for you? The look on their face is like, if you will pray for me? Yes, I will. Tell me what you need. So I prayed with a couple. I prayed with a gentleman, and he smiled so big that he didn't have any front teeth, but his smile was precious. And just recognizing them, looking them in the eye, smiling at them, praying and telling their name in prayer, mentioning them to God in prayer by name was just amazing to them. And it was such a simple thing, really. But it took a lot for me to step out and say, hey, I think I can pray out loud with someone that I don't know. One experience I had that really touched my heart was an older gentleman. He was in a wheelchair. He came kind of at the end of when we were finishing up, and he had oxygen on, and he was just wheeling around, and there was this old robe that was sitting on the table. All the other clothes had been put away, and it was just an old robe. He goes, is that a robe? I said, yeah, I believe so. He said, can I have that? And I said, well, here, let's see if it'll fit you. And so I held it up for him, and I said, I think it'll fit you. So he put the brake on his wheelchair, and he stood up the best he could, and I slipped it on him. And he goes, oh, this is so nice. He says, the place I sleep is so cold at night. He said, this is just what I needed. And we had joked that it was the ugliest robe we ever saw. But to him, it was sitting there, and it was just what he needed, and the smile on his face. And I took it off of him, and he sat back down. I put it in a bag for him, and I think that robe made a difference for him on that day. And it just made my heart fly that something so simple that someone else discarded that we didn't think anyone would need. He needed it, and it blessed his day. And when you serve, the blessing that it gives you is beyond words.